Alright, we're live.
Okay, thank you all for showing us around. Appreciate that. Your takeaways, Jim?
Space. Space is a thing. You know, it's like,
Yeah,
it's the theme. Our growth in this school, like what have we looked at like in the last 2 or 3 years? Has it gone up, back down? Like what's the big
And the need for some specialized rooms to needy kids, and that's the big thing. And our rooms they're all utilized. Every space is utilized and maximized.
what has the growth been like?
I would have to pull that out.
You guys know the last
We
2
were
years?
up 8 from the fall to the spring count of this year. Is that right, Alexa? I feel like it was 8.
yeah, funny.
Yeah, so we are. This school is.
We're trying to grow.
What classes are the most stuffed right
So our 5th grade classroom, or our 5th grade classes, they're the smallest of our groups. But 4th through kindergarten, we average about 20 kiddos in each classroom.
And we have 3 classrooms in each grade level,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
It seems to me like there's more need for specialized areas. Okay, so I didn't ask you, this room, where the office used to be, it's all cut up and little room here and a little room there.
That's our
little room
Cummins, our Cummins LSS or life skill specialist is there, and then when she's in classrooms, then it's the therapist, or the therapist is in there when she's there.
there. I'm just sort of overwhelmed with all of the different little people meeting here on this day and over there on that day. And it would be kind of, but they're meeting in small rooms, right? So there's not really much nothing else you could do with those small rooms.
No, Mrs.
In other words, if you took all of those little bits and pieces out and put them in one general area, like say you use the art room and you have all the special meeting people in one kind of way, right?
I know what you're saying, kind of like looking at the big picture at different snapshots of time throughout the day. Are there areas that are, any one given time, how much unutilized area is there? And can some of those be consolidated? I'll just use this as an example. There's 5 little rooms back here that, maybe it's structural and you can't take those walls down, but if
Right.
you open that up, that's a huge space, right? And so I think what you're saying is we have several of those little spaces that we're moving people around, having little meetings here and little groups there, and we don't have room for a conference room, and some of the wind time and some of those things, there's little groups all over the place. How can that be more efficient?
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe it can't be, but because this building has been added onto here and added onto there, and then you end up with a little space that, oh, well, maybe we'll use that for something.
Every hallway, every vestibule, when you start adding on, that's underutilized space. It's a passage, but it's also space you have to now eat and cool, and it's not useful for classroom space, or meeting,
Right.
those sorts of things. It's not secure, not accurate as a classroom. So, anytime we're adding on, we have to think about those things and change some of that are those pain points while you're doing the project. Those are things to think about.
Well,
Nothing's standing right out saying, oh yeah, this is a big problem. It's just a bunch of little.
yeah. I'm thinking about this because I'm looking at it. If there's a way, I like the little reading nook. I mean, I think it's great to have in a library, and I think it's great for a librarian to be able to sit down there and read a story and get the kids rather than out all of the open. I would like to look for ways to make that safe, whether just put a little knee wall or something where you can still, because to me, that would maybe be cheaper than. I think filling that in would be really expensive, but maybe not. I'd like to, you know, when we get to that point. If it's just a safety issue, now if it's because nobody uses it and everybody hates it,
Yeah,
and,
they do read down there.
well, you know, reading is gonna.
They do.
I want to shut that off.
Is it all grade levels that utilize that space, or just, you know, the young?
I believe all grade levels, actually, yes.
Seems like their solutions.
And maybe if it was built up versus down, you would trip up and not trip down.
Yeah, you might need another. Is it big enough for a whole class, maybe? You know, because maybe we could add a step.
Sounds like there's some
Need a little
things that
space, but
you could look at there,
Yeah.
filling it in versus making it safer. If that's it. You could always pull both. See which ones you like.
regarding the stage, that's a lot of space. And personally, for me, it seems a little sad that we're using it for storage. Do we not have any like corporation storage, or, I mean, I know storage is always a problem, I get that. But is a pole barn storage building cheaper than the cost of not using that for a classroom or not using it for some purpose? I mean, you know, you can put the music room up there maybe, or not a conference room, but you know what I mean? Some sort of something that is actually accommodating people.
If we put it, we can't put something up there every day because we have OT and PT that uses it twice a week.
Do you have other areas where you have things stored that you could utilize that space as well if there wasn't something stored there? So if you took all the little areas where things are stored, or there's things that are just there because, yeah, you don't really utilize it, but it's there and you hate to get rid of it right now. If you cleaned all those areas out, how much space does that give you? Like including the stage?
The stage is our biggest one.
That's the biggest one.
Yeah, that's our biggest area. And I hate that it's there too, and I hate that when we have our drama performance that we can't open it farther.
Yeah.
We just have to keep it, and they try the best that they can, putting things up there so that people don't see it. And,
It was a really neat space when it was designed, but you know, things changed. If it's not something you would organically use, then I see the value in saving it as that type of space. So if you can utilize it as something else, and that fits better for your needs now, we're not letting the sentiment get in the way. But if it's something you really need that space, it's elevated, and try to work around whatever your needs are. I'm just trying to imagine, like, what is there enough? Do some of those things, or we're storing things someplace else, or repurposing rooms. Like, does this room need to be right here, or is there another room that better suit whatever class size is typically here now? Start switching some of those things around. That money that would be spent go a little further, and just
they're not
challenging you to like
Mhm.
maybe brainstorm some of those things. Have a conversation about. But I'm curious if like pole barn type space would be appropriate for that kind of thing, because when you do put things in cold storage, then you get rust and mice and those things that you may not get in here. So then there goes. It's still storing something comes at a cost, right? Oftentimes, what's that statistic where if a family has a storage unit, they usually pay for the stuff that's in the storage unit 3 or 4 times for the life of that storage unit, you know? So,
I think we built a puzzle together of all the different pieces that we're looking at, the whole scope of the entire project, that maybe all that kind of things together.
we'll learn more later. We have 3 or 4 more works that I.
But I think too, in our situation with not a lot of funds and everybody wanting, I mean, I would like for everybody to get what they want, right? But we don't have, obviously, don't have the money for that, and we don't really have the structural real estate for that, right? So then that means you gotta use every space we have or repurpose every space that we have for multiple things. So that's why I'm gonna go back to the stage, is because it can only be used for one thing. Well, yeah, we can kind of use it for other things, but basically, it's only being used for storage for the
2 days a week.
And is the gym still, the original gym still used for like cafeteria and like playtime? Like it used to be half playtime, recess, whatever, and then half cafeteria, and then at some point in time, the kids would switch.
If there's not the lunchroom going, or the lunch is going on right then yes. So like our first grade, they go to recess like 1:50 to 2:10, and so Darren is finished cleaning it by then because our last lunch finishes at 12:55. So 1 o'clock, then we can start cleaning. So by 1:45, he's finished, and they actually use the little gym quite a bit. But not all grade levels do, because we have lunches going on in there. So I really wish we had room at least to separate our special ed teachers, because like when you're testing and they're both in the same spot, I need to go outside and look through the window or the door. That's how we can say that it's 2 different areas.
Wait,
Because they're in the 3rd grade across from, right next to STEM, that STEM room. So,
okay, yeah.
so we have
The
2
three
teachers. Yes.
murals, okay.
So when you're watching to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to, like I need to go outside and look in the window to make sure that he's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Okay, so you need that space for STEM too, though, right?
No,
Or-
STEM's just in another room. I have 2 special ed teachers in the other.
Oh, sorry, it was because they were over there today. I thought that
Yes.
was- Okay, sorry,
Yeah.
okay, now I'm getting,
So that's
yeah.
that's a big thing that I would like somehow to figure out.
But if that went back to being used as a classroom, you still need 2 places for 2 special ed classes.
That could be one, but I still need another one.
It sounds like
And
you
how-
guys have thought of a lot of different scenarios.
Yeah, like we bought the petitions last year when it was one of the kindergarten rooms. They were over here, and we tried to divide it the best we could. And at that time, then I didn't have to go outside. I could just go into Laura Miner's, that room, and look through, and then check him off if he's doing what he's supposed to during testing. I can't do that there, so I have to go out.
There's no like safety issue with that, or like where you have to have.
I have to be able to observe. And
Oh, okay, so that's okay.
And
Trying
so-
to observe
how do I observe?
during
I have to go
during
outside.
state testing without pulling it.
Going outside.
So we only
Wait,
test
so
on
how
Sundays.
What?
We only
No
test on
rainy days.
Sundays.
Or freezing days.
So how would you change that room? You're talking about making that partition permanent, but yet with a window or something, or?
No, so I'd like to be able to have another classroom for them, right? But I don't,
To not have 2 teachers share
yeah, I don't know where
two
that.
classrooms in one.
We're
So-
looking at- and also observe without having to go outside.
So how many full-size classrooms do you think you need? As many as you can get, I understand, but if you could only have just what you needed,
So,
that would be 1.
right, or the music room can be split into 2, because there are 2 doors, so I could observe through both doors and not have to go outside and watch them.
So if you did that, then the kindergarten, used to be kindergarten room, could be a classroom. So either we-
Or the music room, I don't want the music room down there, but we have to have a spot for a music room, if we take it a music room.
if we added 2 more classrooms inside there. That,
Would putting music back up on the stage and then splitting the other classroom be enough?
splitting the special ed classroom.
Splitting the music, splitting the current music room.
Okay,
So you've got 2 doors, now you have 2 classrooms. And then moving music to the stage. Just,
oh, if you didn't add those outside classrooms.
yeah, would something like that be enough? Or,
So then you just have to find a space for OTPT.
Then OTPT has to have a spot.
and that seems like a fairly small space
Yeah. Well,
requirement.
PT needs a little more, right, than OT. They usually put I know it's hard to imagine, but they do put like an obstacle course thing out there and move everything as much as they can.
That's not something that can be done. On gyms.
Privacy issue.
Only thing I'm thinking is there something we can put in the gym that makes that space into a learning space in the gym, like a.
Well, what about the stage for
or
that?
something.
That's where it is right now. OTPT is up there 2 days a week.
But just in that little office.
No,
No.
speech is in there every day. They're actually on the stage.
Okay, okay, I didn't realize that, I'm sorry.
So is what, so when PE is going on, that's done in the new gym.
Yes. And we have lunches. Lunch starts at 10:50, and then it gets over at 12:55. So basically,
Recess.
10:50 to 1.
So bottom line is you need as many classrooms as you can, right? And you need a conference room. It's big enough to have a conference.
And then if I could get Jill up there. Our counselor.
And the old nurse's room where the offices used to be, that's great the way it is? Or is that an area that could be reconfigured or used for something else?
We have speech, so we have 2 speech teachers in here. One of them is in that area by the bathrooms. So there's a speech room there. And then we have the speech room, the other one on the stage. And then we have the Cummins person here and then Mrs. Klein is here. This walk area, that's right now where Ivy League is, where they keep their stuff, and then they have a table over there to the side, so if they have like 5 kiddos, and they stay in there.
And then what'd you tell me that room was?
That is one of our special ed classrooms.
I keep track of it all.
We really gave a chance. They do a great job.
And like, Charity was here to do some testing,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And guess where she is? My office, my conference room, whatever, in there. So, and sometimes I have WIN groups in there if someone's testing, I'll have little kids, and it's not uncommon to have kids in my office doing WIN time. Was that just yesterday? Because this is only Tuesday, so yes.
Thank you all for putting it all together and
Yes,
staying with us.
thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Jared.
If you have any questions I'm always available.
Did you guys already touch base on any of the, were there any hanging items, remaining items from the last time we addressed some of the stuff in Central, that didn't get taken care of, that maybe didn't make it to this list of priorities here? Is there anything?
No, Jared would probably know.
everything's pretty much taken care of.
Yeah, I mean, everything that was last time,
We're pretty much at the-
pretty much done, yeah.
The things I remember.
The
have been
bleachers,
taken care
we
of.
got the bleachers
Yeah.
done, we got the 2 boilers. Those were the 2 main,
Chillers,
items.
New
Something
chiller.
with the ceiling or the roof that was.
the roof, we got a new roof, new
Right.
chiller. I mean, everything that was on the previous list pretty much got covered.
So all the
Other than more
infrastructure,
classrooms.
all the infrastructure stuff except for classroom.
Correct. And we put new carpet in here and repainted how many classrooms this summer?
Yeah, we repainted
5 or 6 classrooms were repainted this summer. So yeah, there's been a lot of cosmetic stuff done as well.
one at a brighten.
And all of the classrooms are being used, well, they have to be used still. We have, because of the free.
And you gotta realize, they lost a classroom last year. When STEM come in, it took a room. I mean, in essence, you gained an education space, but you
Yeah.
lost one.
Well, we lost another, we lost the computer lab. So
Yes.
this room plays double duty.
Yes.
It does computer lab and it does library.
Right.
Because we lost that room.
So if you put that in perspective, at Fillmore, that happened too. So, I mean, they lost part of their media, they lost their media lab to the STEM lab. So,
I had to remind myself that every kid has a computer now.
And there'll be a special place for it, right, right.
Mine- Our computers need to be out in the hallway.
yeah, where's the computer lab? Oh, wait, everybody has.
Coming in, we're good, right?
Yeah,